Welcome back to another episode of Unveil the Real Podcast. I'm your host, Schools, and today's a very special day to me. I'm going to dedicate this episode to my son, my only son, Cameron King. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, son. I love you. Sky's the limit. You know, I'm always trying to push you to do bigger and better things, but I love you with all my heart, man, and I just want to dedicate this episode to you and just get you to understand life is filled with a lot of challenges, but through, faith and through just a lot of hard work, you can do anything you want to do, son. So I just want to dedicate this episode to my son, Cameron King, man. I love you. I love you. Now, speaking of life, all right, today's topic is something that I feel, whether you're a teenager, you're an adult, just a human being in general, I feel like this is a very good subject, all right? So the question that I have for everyone is, what if my life was a movie? Like, do I have an audience? Are people pranking me? Why am I having so many ups and downs throughout life, if that makes sense, right? It's just reverting back to those type of questions, right? One way to put it is when you're doing good in life and then out of something sudden you get a flat tire or, just certain things are just not flowing how it's normally been going for you. And then we can also flip it to where things have been just bad for you. And then, like, man, is this God? Is this devil? Like, what is going on? And then out of nowhere, things are starting to, do better for yourself. So that's been a question that me personally, I ask myself from time to time, because again, I work very hard for my family and for myself, but again, it's life. So again, there's always going to be trials and tribulations throughout life. I feel like it's a very good question that most people ask, yourself. I feel like everyone asks yourself that type of question. So again, is your life a movie? Do you have an audience? What about the haters in your life? Are they the ones that are trying to come in, make things worse for you because they want to take over your movie? They want that major role. So I'll give a story of my own. Let's just say I can even go back to, this might have been maybe close to 10 years ago, maybe plus. A lot of my good friends and family know I used to have this small red Chevy Aveo, a real good gas saver. But again, I was really like the laugh. I was the laugh in the town, the laugh in my group, because I'm such a big guy and I'm in a small car. Now, besides all of that, what I'm trying to say is I was blessed with a car. You know what I'm saying? I worked hard for that car and things like that. And things seemed to be going good, but then boom, out of nowhere, got into a wreck. And I'm just stressing because, my job is about 30 minutes from me and now I'm out of a car, things like that. So, you feel like you're just down bad and like, why you ask yourself, why is this happening to me? But again, through just staying focused and me just always trying to work hard, I was able to come across another car with the help of friends and family. Because again, I'm just glad I've always had that reputation of working hard and being honest and keeping my word. So again, I do appreciate those, even 10 years ago, all the real ones that's been in my life to this day. Thank you all for believing in me. But again, I just feel like that's just a question everyone asks themselves sometimes. Like, why are these things happening to me? I'm doing good. I have a child. I'm not bothering nobody, ain't hurting nobody, and things like this. It just happens. So again, I just wanted to give that slight story. Again, I got into a whole wreck, totaled my car, and I kept asking myself, why are these things happening? But again, that's my story. That's just a quick little story of mine. So now I would like you all to comment, go to the comments, tell me a story about, when you had to ask yourself, why are these things happening to me? And again, it can be good or bad. Don't just throw in the comments all the bad things. But again, a lot of times you were down bad, and then you can tell me about some of the good things, the turnaround. All right, so let's get into some sports, man. Today, this is being recorded on October 22nd. But again, I do want to highlight that tonight is the first games of the regular NBA season. The first game we got up is the defending champions, the Boston Celtics. They're taking on the New York Knicks. Again, I'm learning a lot about NBA because I'm more of a football guy, but from what I'm hearing around the town, the New York Knicks are going to be a good competitive team to look out for. So I think the NBA did a great job at having this first game be, the first game of the regular season, especially since they're always going to have the defending champs go up first against a very good, challenging team. So New York Knicks versus the Celtics, man, this should be a good one. The second game, which there's only 2 games tonight, but the second game is a very notable game. It's going to be a historic game as well for the NBA, but that is the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? Now, again, for those that don't know, LeBron James and his son, Bronny James, they're both on the same team, the Lakers. And again, as far as I'm concerned in the NBA, this is history. This is finally making history. Two gentlemen, father and son, they're both going to be playing on the same basketball team in the NBA. So again, I know LeBron has been working very hard to do this. I personally, I think that's just such a huge honor, just me being a father, but I really hope Bronny gets better throughout the season because again, looking at highlights when he was at USC and when he was in that, the G League or whatever the case may be, and even in the preseason, it was looking a little rough, But let's just hope Bronny figures it out. But again, I think this is going to be a great game as well. Me personally, I hope the Lakers blow out the Timberwolves. That way, Bronny can get a little PT. But again, we'll see how this goes. But congratulations to LeBron and Bronny. This is making history. This is going to encourage a lot more younger men and women because we got the WNBA too. You got women's soccer. You got all types of sports. But it's just going to encourage a lot of young athletes. Rather their parents are in the professional leagues or not, it's just going to really push them to just work harder as long as you stay focused. Stay focused, work hard, and you can achieve anything. All right. So moving on to the NFL, I'm going to review the Week 7. So I'm just going to recap on just a few games for Week 7. There were a few games that honestly I did not pay that much attention to, and those that are football fans understand why. But the first game that I'm going to highlight, which I thought was a very good game, was that Lions versus Vikings game. This game was a very good game. You have me personally, and because I love football, I always like to highlight the linemen, the offensive linemen mostly. But I do believe both quarterbacks, right? You got Goff, Sam Darnold. They both had a lot of time to really, make plays and have the wide receivers get to where they need to go. So again, I just thought that this game was a great game. Yes, the Lions ended up on top. I think the Vikings came off that bye week, but I just think it was a great game in general. Golf just came off on top, So congrats to them again. I know this was a great game. Vikings being number one in their division, but definitely a great game, man. That was a very, very good game. All right, another game that I was very impressed with was the Seahawks versus the Falcons game. That game in general, I've actually been loving Geno Smith. I really hope he can pull off whatever he's trying to get to. I think just a lot of the injuries that's going on around the league is just taking a huge hit on all teams. But overall, Seahawks won. They beat the Falcons, 34-14. I thought that was just a very good game in general. I have Walker. I have the running back Walker in my fantasy team, and he did wonders, even though he was pretty ill that game, but he did a great job. I also have Metcalf, too. Metcalf did his thing, but overall, man, Seahawks defense is really looking good. They're actually shocking a lot of people. I really thought Kirk Cousins was going to do just a bigger number on the Seahawks, but overall, man, they did a great job. I believe Metcalf has an injury. He's probably going to be out for another week or two. But again, man, good luck to the Seahawks. Congratulations on the win versus Kirk Cousins and the Falcons, man. But it was a good game. It really was a good game. But Seahawks, man, they're finding something that a lot of teams are really trying to find already. But overall, man, that Seahawks defense is really doing their thing to make sure Geno Smith gets what he needs to get these W's, man. So shout out to him. Another good Showtime game that I really love watching was that Green Bay Packers versus the Texas games. Yeah, that Texans game, it was very good. It was to me, that was a more explosive game. You got two very good quarterbacks, just real explosive, if that makes sense. A lot of weapons on both teams. Jordan Love, Jay Money, he's doing excellent after coming back from that injury, a few weeks ago. He's just doing numbers. A lot of the receiving group is really doing a great job. Green Bay defense, their defense is very good, and they're starting to show it. I just think they just need to keep it together, and they'll figure it out. As far as the Texans go, very good overall team. As long as C.J. Stroud, is getting that protection, he had to scramble out a couple times, but obviously what quarterback don't, that's just a part of the game. So good thing he is mobile, and he can do it all, really. Tank Dell, and you got Diggs, and they got some good players on that offense. So I just hope C.J. Stroud can really keep it going, and I honestly hope he goes further this year, man. They actually had a playoff appearance last year, so that was pretty good for a rookie. So again, C.J. Stroud, man, good luck to you. We're gonna see you up there. Another good game. I really like. I love the games, and I call them like the payback games. I love the games where certain players can get payback. The Eagles versus the Giants game. A lot of people like me have been waiting on this game personally because, again, Saquon Barkley came from the New York Giants. They did not want to pay this man. Obviously, and most people, when we talking business, when we talking NFL, we can understand why, but again, he's still young. He did have a lot of injuries, but again, look at what he's doing this year. Look at the numbers that he's putting up this year. And again, they put a straight beating on the Giants, man, 28-3. So literally kept them to one field goal the entire game. Granted, the Eagles do have a pretty good defense. I know I got them on my fantasy team, but overall, man, just a great performance for everyone, for Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley. Yeah, yes, the receiving corps did a great job as well. A.J. Brown's looking healthy. Devontae Smith, I feel like he's still kind of finding his rhythm back in there, but overall good. I'm looking at the stats right now. Saquon Barkley, man, 17 carries, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, right? Now, that's Man, y'all know the tush push because Jalen Hurts got 2 rushing touchdowns by himself. But again, I just want to highlight that, give Saquon Barkley his flowers because again, that was the team that he came from. So just a great job for him. All right, the next game that I want to highlight, it was an absolute blowout. But again, I gotta give Mr. Mariota his flowers, man. He had to step in. Jaden Daniels got hurt, I believe, in like the first quarter. But again, Marcus Mariota, he stepped in, got him, threw for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, the final score, and yes, this is versus the Panthers, so we're not too surprised. But the final score was 40-7. But again, I just want to highlight that because Marcus Mariota had to step in the first quarter, when Jaden Daniels got hurt. And, he really stepped in and did his thing like a backup is supposed to do. But again, we are sorry to hear about Jaden Daniels. I hope prayers out to him. Such a young, talented, rookie. But again, I believe he's going to be out for just a couple weeks, hopefully just a couple weeks. That way he can get back in there. But it looks like Marcus Mariota is definitely taking that starting spot, at least for next week. But, man, he stepped in and did his thing. So we are going to have to see, what Marcus Mariota can do while Jaden Daniels is out. All right, the next game that I just want to kind of recap on is the Steelers versus Jets game. This game was a game between 2 veteran quarterbacks. It ended up being kind of a blowout, if you ask me. It was still close, but 37-15. Now, me personally, I was a little upset with this game only because in one of my fantasy leagues, I have Garrett Wilson. And again, he did do numbers. He definitely did numbers, but one thing I just didn't understand and I didn't like, Aaron Rodgers, I believe he threw 2 interceptions. Unfortunately, both of those interceptions were intended for Garrett Wilson. Now, from the looks of it, the first one might have been a little behind Garrett Wilson, but I still think it was catchable. And again, boom, interception. Now, I was mad not only because that was my completion, but again, you messing up my stats, man. So I need you to get back in this game next week, Garrett Wilson. Now, again, the second interception, that actually bounced off of, I think, his chest. And again, it didn't even bounce to the ground either. It bounced in the air, and the opposite team caught it, man. The Steelers did their thing, man. They held their own. They beat them 37-15. But Aaron Rodgers, he really has to figure some things out. Yes, they have Devontae Adams now, so I know I think the world knows there is about to be a change. Got me a little scared because, again, I have Garrett Wilson, but you got to think, man, with the way that he's playing. Now, he did do numbers as well. Garrett Wilson caught his passes, did his thing, but to me, or I guess I should say as a quarterback, you got to stay humble, you got to stay focused, but I just don't understand why you can't catch the ball. You are a wide receiver. Catch the dang ball, man, because every time it was just intended for him and just a slight fluke, a slight mistake, and that just caused a whole interception, a whole game change, a whole turnover. So, again, man, great job for the Steelers. Definitely big ups to Russell Wilson. He did big numbers too, man. Russell Wilson, man, threw for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So I believe, yes, Russell Wilson is back. He's getting back in that rhythm. It kind of reminds me of how Jay Money is when he came back. When he came back in from his injury, I mean, he's just getting better and better every week. So, again, I truly think Russell Wilson is going to become a huge impact, Najee Harris and all of them. I mean, they're really doing numbers all of a sudden. So let's just hope next week, they can keep up the good work and stay consistent. Next game I want to highlight is the Buccaneers versus the Ravens game. Whoo, that was probably one of my favorite games to watch this week besides the Chiefs. I always love watching the Chiefs, but man, that game in particular was just crazy. I have to start with Lamar Jackson. He did a great job, man. Just the footwork in general, just to scramble out, nobody can touch him. It's just his speed is amazing. But not only that, but he threw. You know, I think it's more so about how many touchdowns he actually threw for. Again, he threw for 5 touchdowns this past week. In week 7, he threw for 5 touchdowns, right? A total of 281 yards. Now, again, he did all of that, man, with his arm. I know people love talking about, you know, he's a running back. He's a running back. Well, he's showing and he's proving it right now that he is not a running back. He is a quarterback, but again, he's just a quarterback with a lot of speed, and he is not afraid to run and lower his shoulder. The type of quarterback I love, which is why I have him on one of my fantasy leagues. I love this man. I definitely have to highlight Bateman. Bateman, too. He's really stepping up. He's been stepping up every week, for real, but he's just showing that he deserves to be that number 1 wide receiver. Now, yes, granted, Flowers did, you know, he was pretty banged up. He was pretty hurt. So hopefully he can still play as well, because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. But you can just tell that Flowers was not the best after that. I think he kind of tweaked his ankle or something like that. But let's just hope he can come back and get back up there with Bateman, because right now Bateman is their number 1 wide receiver. You know, you still got Mark Andrews, who's always going to do numbers, but Bateman definitely showed out. Bateman, and I'm looking at it, you know, 4 receptions, just 4 receptions for 121 yards and 1 touchdown, man. So pretty good stats for 4 receptions. You know, normally normally it's a lot more. And of course, gotta give big ups to King Henry, man. He did his thing on the ground too. You can just tell he's finding his rhythm every week, and I'm loving it, man. I love a tough running back, who can just really do his thing, stay focused, stay low, run hard. And again, everyone knows you cannot just tackle him up high. You have to get low on this man. This man is just running over everybody. And still big ups to Buccaneers still. Baker Mayfield, he's still doing numbers, man. I still like the way he's playing. But again, I feel like the offensive line kind of struggled a little bit versus the Ravens. But, you know, he scrambled when he had to. He did what he had to stay in the game. Mike Evans caught that huge touchdown, making history. Injuries, man, these freaking injuries. You got Mike Evans got hurt, I believe it was the hamstring, and also Chris Godwin, who also got hurt towards the end of the game as well. I want to add this in there too as well. Comment, let me know what you guys think. If the game, let's just say it's the 4th quarter, less than about 3 or 4 minutes left, and you still have a lot of your starters in, do you think it's fair to keep them in the game when you're down by 2 scores? Or do you think, or are you just real cutthroat with it, like, nah, we still have a chance to win. We still have a chance to win. I get it. You know, this is a game of professionals. It's a competitive league. I get all of that. But now you're down your number 1 wide receiver and your number 2 wide receiver in the same game. Now, granted, yes, Mike Evans got hurt, you know, kind of early on in the game. But Chris Godwin, who is one of their secret weapons, man, he got hurt. And I just don't know if I just agree with keeping your key players in the game, knowing that the game is over. You know, let's just keep it real on that. So comment, let me know what y'all think about that as well, too, because I just don't really agree with that. But I could be wrong, too. I could be overthinking it. All right, and last but not least, man, I had to save my squad, my team for last. The Chiefs, man. The Chiefs pulled it off again. They pulled it off again, y'all. We are 7-0. We are 7-0 now. Now, The one thing I want to say about this game, again, for those that understand, this was the Super Bowl rematch as well. But again, Patrick Mahomes did his thing. I just feel like overall the Chiefs are playing smart football, no matter how the score looks, if that makes sense. But again, final score 28-18, still good separation. Still came out with the dub, you know what I'm saying? Still undefeated. Actually, the only team that's undefeated in the league right now. So, again, I had to give Mahomes his flowers, man. And, again, this is his second game in a row where he did not throw a touchdown pass. He did not throw a touchdown pass at all. Only threw for 151 yards as well. 2 interceptions, man. We really got to figure these things out, man, because I know later in the season we are playing against some more tough opponents, man. So, but again, overall, I just think it is interesting. Second game in a row, threw no touchdown passes. Now, again, for those who've seen it, and I know everyone's seen it, and everyone probably heard Mahomes' response. He lowered that shoulder with the dad bod and rushed the touchdown in. That was definitely the highlight of the game. And that's one thing Mahomes will always do. He gonna make a highlight. He's definitely gonna make a highlight out of something. But again, Kareem Hunt, Patrick Mahomes, one person that I was very, very impressed with, Mecole Hardman. Not too much, but I just like what I seen. I love the energy. I just love what he was bringing to the game. He rushed 2 times for 38 yards. Receiving, he got 1 reception for 17 yards. But again, man, he did a very good job. He did score a touchdown too, rushing. But he did a very good job to me. I just like what he's giving to the team. And I just honestly hope he can continue to bring it, you know what I'm saying, a Super Bowl like he did this past year. Which is who caught the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. The 49ers, man, they still did their thing. They did pretty good. Purdy threw for 212 yards. Now, he did throw 3 interceptions, though, so it was just 1 more than Mahomes. So, you know, he put up good numbers as well, man. 49ers, they're just dealing with a lot of injuries, man. I'll try to find the list, post it on here, but they are just dealing with a lot of injuries, and I really hope they can overcome just it all. Another person to highlight is Pearsall. Where you go? Ricky? Is it Ricky? Yeah. Another person to highlight in this game, who I think we're all glad to see back, is Ricky Pearsall, you know, after getting shot in an attempted robbery. But this was also his first game back. And just to highlight him, yeah, he got 3 receptions for 21 yards, man. He didn't, you know, it's pretty good for a rookie, you know, in his first appearance. So again, I think we all know he's probably going to get more touches throughout this season, you know, especially with a lot of injuries they got going on both sides of the ball. But again, overall, good game. Kittle did his thing. But again, it can't just be Purdy and Kittle. So hopefully they can figure it out. And just good luck to them guys. You know, good luck to the whole team for the rest of the future, man. Prayers go out to all the injuries. 49ers is really dealing with a lot of injuries, man. But anyway, like Andy Reid says, how about them Chiefs? I love that part where you say that in the locker room.
Easier, right? Hey, that's just how I feel. Yeah, that's just how I feel. Hey.
All right, y'all. So let's get into today's reaction video.
Listen, you're going to viral, bro. I swear to God. Hey, listen, hold on. Let me talk. Carter, you want to quit football, right? For what? He want to be with his girlfriend, bro. So yeah, that's what you condone.
That's crazy.
That's my court, bro. Carter, get in the fucking court. Man, watch out. Bro, hey, let me out the court. Man, y'all. No, you right. Swear to God, you got it. Swear to God, you got it. Bring your cars up, right over here, bro.
He hopped on the passenger seat. So that's her brother. Oh, he got her in the head. He got him in the head. Get in the street.
Tell her to get in the street with me. Oh, tell her to get in the street with me, bro.
Oh, wow. All right. All right, man. So I'm reading the caption already, but it says my 10-year-old son quit football to focus on his girlfriend. That 10 years old, y'all. 10 years old. Now hold on. All right, so let me read this part. It says my son quit football to focus on his girlfriend. I swear his mom never gonna see him again. I'm taking over. As he should. Now, I feel like this was a very good video. And again, you all can see it. I know you all just seen it as well as I'm watching it. But again, me being a person who grew up playing football my whole life, I still love football to this day. I don't know. That is very interesting. But again, it is a part of the world that we're living in now, y'all. Like as a man, and I get it, it definitely, he said it's his girlfriend. So it's so many red flags. And again, I'm not judging anybody because again, I was not married with my first child, but I just think that's where the mistake is happening already. Cause let's just answer that question right there. If they were married, do y'all honestly think that little boy would have stopped playing football? You know what I'm saying? Because it's obvious that the mom is like promoting the situation. She's like, nah, boy, come on, let's get out this car. You can focus on your girlfriend instead of football. Like, it's sad that it's getting to this point because, not trying to be funny, I coached football for a little over 7 years, but every now and then you always meet, it's mostly mothers, no offense, but it's mostly the football moms or just moms in general who they don't want their sons to play football for safety reasons. Rather, I seen that movie Concussions, or they don't want their boys to get concussions. They don't want them to break a bone, I just need everyone to understand football in general has so many benefits for young men. And obviously there's starting to be young women play football, continue to play football too. Not in the NFL, but again, because again, I wholeheartedly believe that football, it just teaches you so many different values. It teaches you discipline first off, teaches you how to listen, how to be coachable, how to just be in good character, rather you're on and off the field, how to be humble, how to show good sportsmanship. You might pancake somebody, you might knock somebody down, but you're going to help them get back up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to see you at the next play. That's how I was back when I played, football, especially in high school. But I just think a lot of people, a lot of men and women, I'm not just going to say mothers and fathers, I think men and women just need to come to realization that I guarantee if you are an adult, probably in your mid to late 20s, all the way going to your 30s, I feel like you guys know what's going to happen to that boy in the future. The boy is 10 years old, y'all. So it's just like, y'all, that would really just break my heart. I would rather the kids say, like, Daddy, I got hit so hard, I just don't even want to play football. I got hit so hard in practice that I just don't want to play football no more. To me, that's just beyond wrong, especially for the mother to just promote this situation. She's the one that's just like really trying to let it happen. And the fact that her brother is also defending her, he's not understanding the situation. Now, me personally, I have a couple sisters. If if my sister, if my nephew was trying to quit football for his girlfriend at 10 years old, I would be totally against that. I would be hopping in the car. I would throw my nephew back in the car with that dude. You know, as long as his morals is right, as long as it's all for the right reasons. But I just disagree with that whole situation, man. I don't want to keep going off on the ramp, with this, but again, me being a person who understands the benefits of football, and the boy is 10 years old. His father's in his life, thank goodness. So his father, he definitely looked like he's going to teach him how to be a man. He's going to teach him everything that he can. But you have the baby mama's brother trying to fight you as well to defend what is he trying to defend is what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, so again, I just think that's just a lifestyle that family in general has an issue with. The fact that, yeah, like the brother, who knows how old he is, but again, he's trying to put him in a headlock. He's trying to get him off of him. I just don't understand why. But again, you never know. That man, that the father, he looks like he's probably in his late 20s to 30. If he's 10 years old, he's probably in his 30s headed there. But yeah, I just don't agree with the whole situation, man. Like that the little brother of the girl, he's probably younger than him, and that's probably why he didn't want to fight the guy. He probably didn't want to beat him up. So now you got my son out here watching me beat up his uncle, whatever the case may be. But I just think that is the issue in a lot of families, a lot of relationships nowadays. Now, again, I'll go back to my first question. Do we honestly think if they were married and this boy is 10 years old, they would not be in this situation? Because again, if he's the man, he's the father, he's the head of the house, he's everything, right? Everything is supposed to go through him. Then this would not be an issue. So again, y'all, men, women, please think about, who you laying down with in these type of situations. Because again, if her morals are not in the right place, her values, and if his morals and his values are not in the right place, then again, it's just going to be a mistake. It's just going to be a mistake that a lot of people make, which is why he's sitting here fighting for his son, just so his son can continue to do something that he knows is beneficial for his son. He's 10 years old. Why are we even talking about a girlfriend, right? Why are we even talking about that? And yes, we were all 10 at once, but that's just ridiculous to me, man. So again, comment. Let me know what y'all think about this reaction video, because to me, this is ridiculous. This is probably the worst thing I've ever. I would rather a son say, I just don't want to get a concussion. I don't want nothing to happen to my body. I would rather you say something like that than to say you rather focus on your girlfriend. I've never heard nothing like that in the 34 years I've been living. So again, comment. Let me know what y'all think about this situation. Give your thoughts. Please give me your thoughts, man. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for even bringing up the whole marriage? Whatever the case may be, because I really want to know what y'all think. Because to me, this is some BS. My boy right now, when he watched this episode, he going to be looking at it like, he's 10 years old. Yes, he's 10 years old, and he's saying he want to focus on his girlfriend. You can't even buy your girlfriend a ring pop without money from your mother or your father. But you want to focus on your girlfriend for what? Like, what is the mother teaching this boy? What is the uncle teaching this boy? That's how you know it's a lot of mental things going on in that household. And hey, big ups to that father, man. Big ups to that father. That's a tough situation. That is very tough. I'm off that subject though, man. But again, y'all, that is the end of this episode. I do appreciate everyone staying till the end. Please comment, like, and subscribe on YouTube. Again, we like to post clips on TikTok and on Instagram. So please add us on there as well. But tune in to more episodes, more highlights, more everything. Now we're going to end this episode with the song of the week called The Vapors by Currency. Tune in and vibe to this, y'all, man. Y'all have a good evening. Let's go, man.
We getting paid, we ballin' out major. I still got a pager. Bitch, I'm from the 80s. The east side made me. The whole world paid me. No girl gon' play me. A woman might take me out on a vacation. Can you? Nothing can save ya. This is the season of catching the vapors. Sliding on haters. Riding on datings. Stacking your paper. Catching them later. Can you?